Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smash Brothers 2018 podcast.
Smash the Switch!
Yes!
We are excited in this room. We are here to talk about our predictions, hopes, and whatnot for Smash Brothers for Switch, both at this E3 and the game in general. We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Right off the bat, let me ask you two, who are you? I'm Sky.
Oh, I'm Jam.
I'm Brokev.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Forgot to put that in the beginning. Right off the bat, I'd like to ask you two another question, which is, do you think this game is going to have... I guess it's a two-parter. Is this going to be a completely new Smash Brothers from the ground up, or will it be built on the Wii U engine, or will it be just an extended port? And then follow that up with, do you think the roster will be bigger than the current roster at the beginning, or will it be a smaller roster with rolling updates of characters, both veterans and newcomers?
Well, I think that it's sometimes hard to draw the line between extended port and, like, new game with the same engine. Like, there's, like, kind of a gray area there.
I guess so.
But I do think, personally, that it will be a brand new Smash Bros. Running on the same engine as Smash Wii U. And I think that mostly because we saw Breath of the Wild Link and not, basically a confirmation that it's a new version of Link with probably a new moveset, etc.
I hope so.
So,
Yeah, I remember being surprised to hear that we were going to see a new Smash game so soon. I mean, maybe it's not so soon, but to me it feels that way.
It does because, like, the DLC took, like, a year and a half.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. Yeah, Smash Wii U was 4 years ago.
Yeah, which is plenty of time for them to have done something.
Melee was made in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful that it's a... I mean, I think getting a new Smash from the ground up would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that, especially for a whole new console like this, there's other implications that, maybe weren't as possible previously, so I would love to see a brand new Smash. It's kind of what I'm hoping. But I wouldn't be entirely disappointed if it was same mechanics, same engine, but, new characters and, updates that make it better.
My personal belief, I think it is new from the ground up, based on, like, the logo and stuff. I mean, you could argue any side of this, but I think they would have said it was a port if it was a port by now. So I think it's at least significantly different from the previous Smash Brothers. I think it's new from the ground up, and my hope is that they start with a smaller base roster with more fine-tuning in each character and then just add characters over time.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the entire life cycle of the Switch, because people will buy characters as long as they keep making them.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't make every single character, like you have to purchase them.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, like, put out veterans in updates and then new characters you pay for.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I would understand if they charged us something for them, but, like, I just hope it's not, like, end up being 25 characters you have to buy, like...
Right.
So...
Yeah. I think the rolling update system is good for two reasons. Like you said, it allows them to put a lot more focus on those core characters, really fine-tune them, try to get them right from the start.
Exactly.
I mean, there'll inevitably be, buffs and nerfs and, updates to characters, mechanics and things, but, as good as you can get them from the start, obviously is preferable. I also think it takes a lot of pressure off of Nintendo to produce this perfect, ideal roster of characters from the beginning.
Yeah.
And can even allow them to, I don't know how big they are on this in general, but like taking in fan input as the game is produced.
Yeah, I mean, the Smash ballot from Smash 4, I'm almost certain will be used here in some... Even if it's one character, I think we'll probably get somebody because of fan demand from that.
And if fans know from the beginning that this game, while all new, is going to start small and grow... I think it adds to the life cycle of the game. Obviously, the Switch is rather new, so we can expect this game to last a very long time. It keeps interest in the game over time because people will be constantly able to interact with the process of how the game is literally made, and just giving a game the flexibility to add content over time. I feel like you can't not do that these days if you want your game to last, and
especially with a game like Smash Brothers, where I mean half the excitement of a new Smash Brothers game is the build-up, where you're finding out who the characters are. Like, that whole pre-release cycle for Brawl and then Smash 4, where, like, the daily pictures are like, oh my god, they put Ike's in it. in Smash 4. Like, they put him on the website today. Like, that kind of thing with the trailers and all the characters and everything. If they have that happening while the game is already out, that is such a huge get, because then the natural excitement of, this character's out now, let's go play the game and play as this character, like, people would go crazy for that.
Oh yeah, like I remember when Roy was announced for Wii U as DLC. Yeah, Roy's my main in Smash Bros.
You didn't say he's your boy, and I really thought you were going to.
He's also my boy. I apologize for not saying that sooner. But I know for a fact that was leaked beforehand, and I didn't see it. And then when I saw the actual announcement where he was announced, and then he's just playable today, I was like, what?
Yeah, Smash Wii U definitely gave us a great taste of like what that could be like. But just Splatoon puts out new weapons and stuff, and a new weapon in Splatoon is not as much work as a new character in Smash Bros. Obviously,
right?
But they put out new weapons like every week, and to have even like a monthly thing with Smash Bros. Like, hey, we're putting Jigglypuff in this month, and people are like, oh my god, it's Jigglypuff!
Yeah.
Like, oh god,
I so agree. That would be great.
I'm so hungry for that.
Even more important for them to have this be a new Smash from the ground up, because if they build this on a whole new, engine or whatever you want to call it, it will just give them more flexibility in the future.
For sure.
If they start fresh, instead of relying on the old.
And I think the biggest scare with them starting fresh is cuts, of course. But if they do a rolling update, anybody not in the base roster can be added in. And in fact, they don't have to, like, then there's not scare. If the base roster comes out and there's, like, no Ganondorf, my thought isn't going to be, like, wow, they cut Ganondorf. It's going to be, ooh, they're taking time to work on Ganondorf and change that move setup. Like,
Yeah.
And even with other, like if Rosalina's not there from the start, even if they don't change her moveset at all, it's not as big like, oh, my main got cut. It's like, if we know they're bringing more coming in anyway, there's not going to be that kind of... The Smash community get toxic about this, but like fighting over whose character gets it, quote unquote, whose character gets into the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
True, and also, it for those characters, rather than delaying a whole game because of it, the characters they feel they need to put the extra time into, like, we know we're probably getting this new Breath of the Wild Link in Smash, and that's exciting for a lot of reasons. Link's moveset could really use some spice, right?
Yeah.
We could use something new, so... if they get to working on that and decide, wow, like, this is actually taking longer than we thought, or, we're really trying to optimize this, trying different things, I think ideally we'd all love to see Link come out immediately with the game. But imagine if they left Link off the opening roster and, like, left him as someone who they were like, they have that option.
They do. If they keep, like, an older Link in as well, like Toon Link, or even, standard... quote-unquote standard Link, then Breath of the Wild Link could be added later. But I'm hoping that since we've in that first trailer...
Right.
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
And that's just an example.
Yeah,
it could be applied to
saying.
any character who they want to... And again, this is all about them optimizing those characters to be the best they can be. They have the opportunity and the wiggle room to work on those characters and get them as good as they can be.
I'm sure they're spending a lot of time figuring out how to balance the fact that Mario can possess people now with Cappy, and so that's probably very broken if that's in the game.
Right.
Just make it a grab.
Yeah, they could. I was actually thinking Mario definitely could use Cappy in his moveset somewhere.
Samus could use her new uppercut from Metroid Samus Returns.
That's true. Yeah.
And that stuns people, so that could be
I know we were talking earlier about Link incorporating stasis into his grab.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Since he doesn't get the hook shot in Breath of the Wild, give him stasis as part of his grab.
I love that so much. I'd love it if you could somehow stasis them, like grab them, and then just, like when you do his up grab, he starts hitting them, and so the arrow points up, and then they launch.
Yes. Oh, that'd be so great.
Yep. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to psych myself out too much and then just be like, it's not at all what you wanted, but, like, I do that every Smash Bros. Anyway. I'm so excited, because they always surprise me, and I just,
The thing is, like, if we're thinking of it, they've at least thought of it once.
That's true.
And they'll do what makes sense. We just gotta trust them.
I don't doubt that I used to doubt this, but after Smash 4 and a lot of the interviews Sakurai gave, I don't doubt that he thinks of everything at least once, because he's been trying to put Geno from Mario RPG into Smash Bros. Since Brawl, and I could not imagine anybody at Nintendo even remembered Geno anymore, so that really shook me.
Hashtag shook.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the main character from an NES visual novel Nintendo game, a schoolgirl detective, was considered for Melee as a playable character in Smash Brothers, but because their game wasn't released in the US, he decided against it. Which is, if he's considered a visual novel character from back in 2001, he made that consideration. Like, he can and could think of anything.
Yeah,
It's all fair game.
Yeah,
that's totally true. And obviously, characters take time to develop, but they could even release an initial roster, release the game, see what people are saying about who the next most wanted character would be, and just start working on that character. Like they could just do it as whenever they feel like it, and just update
exactly. They could. There's so much that could be done with this, and I hope they do.
Yeah.
And I think we're all on the same page with this of wanting the rolling updates.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. Giving Smash an ever expanding roster,
gives it so many more years of life.
Extends the lifespan, and like we were saying now, it sort of incorporates the desires of the fan base.
Yeah, and
to at least some extent.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's always something they consider, I believe. Then there's always the surprise characters, which are some of the most fun. I did not expect Duck Hunt or Wii Fit Trainer, but they're some of the funniest things Smash Brothers has got.
Yeah.
But just from the business side of things, the Switch online service will be something we're paying for by the end of the year. So having a reason people keep coming back online to play the game, like a new character to try and Smash Brothers, would be very smart from a business end of things.
That's true. Yeah. I know Smash has had a problem with online in the past, bugging out sometimes.
Hopefully, online that we pay for means that money is going into making the online service good.
Yeah, I agree. Smash could use that.
Yeah, it could. Hey, Splatoon and Splatoon 2 have their onlines, phenomenally. And it almost feels like that's a more complex game since you're moving in 3D space and there's ink shooting everywhere, so I have hopes for Smash.
That's a good point.
I think we should talk about some characters, newcomers that we think will be going in.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anyone want to start?
Let's start with characters we think will be in, and then we'll talk about characters we want to see in.
Okay.
And we could want the characters we think will be in, but our most realistic predictions first.
Okay.
This is a want and someone I think should be in the game and has been potentially leaked of maybe being included. People are discussing Ridley as a character addition.
People do like to discuss Ridley.
And, I know that we here know the limits in the past. The reasons that he hasn't been included has been his size and how that wouldn't scale well.
His size and his wings.
Yeah, I was talking to James earlier about this, and I am vehemently for including him and thinking the size argument is ridiculous based on several examples, but the most obvious one to me being 8-inch tall Kirby existing in Smash the way he is and the size he is.
Right.
And that being okay.
Well, I think part of that is that Kirby is still proportionally the same to the other Kirby characters, Meta Knight and Dedede, but Samus would look much taller next to a smaller Ridley.
That might be true.
Unless they shrink Samus, which would be weird.
It's canon.
8-inch Samus.
The thing, I just thought about this now. Olimar is also inches tall, right?
True, but there's no other Nintendo character in his game.
Yeah.
We're also talking about
other than Rob's severed head, but that's its own thing.
Here's the thing, though. We're talking about a game where all these characters exist in one spot.
Right.
I feel like it's not that ridiculous. Also, the fact that Ridley has been several sizes.
That's true. Like Bowser. Bowser was huge in Sunshine.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're already going to be, not consistent on that front, I think, why not include a character as prolific as Ridley?
Right.
I have a similar take, but I disagree in one aspect, and this is going to be fun. I also agree that Ridley should be in it. And I say, keep him huge, let him be unbalanced, just this crazy powerful, almost playable boss character that it's just ridiculously unfair to play as, but let him be in there. Let Ridley be this crazy powerful thing. That's what Ridley is. And if you play against Ridley, you all gotta team up on the player playing Ridley because they're not gonna lose otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. I do think there should be some drawback if he's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
There should
and
be.
there would be. I mean, he'd be so
He'd be a
enormous.
huge target, yeah.
There should be some way to balance that, yeah.
Sakurai has said in interviews about Ridley for Smash 4 specifically that part of the reason, not just the size, but also, trying to make the flying fair, and the tail is so long, and just the hitbox on that is wacky. And
look, we have Charizard, right?
That's true.
We have
but Charizard's 5'7".
Right, but he should be able to fly and all this, and he's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I hope Ridley gets in there, one way or another. Maybe they'll just make Ridley even bigger and make them a stage.
They could.
We've had that in the past, really.
Oh, yeah. Omega...
With
no, I mean, you're
Kraid.
battling on... Oh, yeah, with Kraid.
Yeah.
Your Omega Ridley is just like this awful Ridley kind of like squished into a Final Destination shape.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I guess my... Okay.
Your most expected...
So, I think it could easily happen, and I could be wrong. Like, I don't know exactly when Smash has started production. This is also my top desired character, so it's like kind of both for me.
Okay.
I think absolutely Rex and Pyro should be a character, because it would just work so incredibly well, and Xenoblade deserves another rep anyway.
Yeah, I think one way or another, I don't doubt that Xenoblade is getting a second rep. I think it's just a matter of whether the game started production and they knew about Xenoblade 2, or if it's going to be Alma.
That's what I'm not totally sure about. And I mean, if they think Xenoblade deserves 3 characters, then Elma and Rex and Pyro would be great.
Legitimately, my most balanced, like within reason and what I want prediction is that with rolling updates being a thing, Elma's in the base game and Rex and Pyro come as a DLC character.
That could easily happen. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that I'd prefer Rex and Pyro as the next Xenoblade rep.
I think not only is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 more favored and more popular than X, I also think Rex and Pyro's moveset potential is way higher.
There's so much that could be done with them.
Yeah.
And Sakurai played and loved Xenoblade 2, so at least they're on his radar.
He knows about it, yeah.
We also know that they love unique mechanics and movesets and characters, and
for sure,
you know, we've seen tag team characters in the past, but there's like with different
way. Like nobody looks at Rosaline and Luma and it's like, oh, it's an Ice Climber clone. Like it's a different way of doing tag team.
Exactly.
Speaking of Ice Climbers,
that was going to be my most likely prediction.
Good transition.
They're coming back. I can't imagine a world in which Ice Climbers don't come back, even if it's as a rolling update.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was legitimately disappointed when they were dropped.
Yeah.
Originally. They're so great.
Yeah. Ice Climbers and Wolf, I can't imagine them not getting back eventually.
Wolf
If the roster ends up, after all the DLC, being bigger than the Smash Wii U roster, I think Ice Climbers and Wolf are going to be in there.
Yeah.
They're almost guaranteed at this point.
Especially with Star Fox Zero making Wolf relevant. Even if Star Fox Zero was controversial, and if it is a Star Fox racing game, that's another reason to put Wolf in. Like, Wolf has a new Final Smash potential with his ship turning into a wolf. Like, there's a lot that can be done with him.
Which, say, if you don't like Star Fox Zero, fine, but that wolf thing was so cool.
So cool. Oh my god.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Ice Climbers and Wolf deserve to be in, especially since Ice Climbers were cut because of a 3DS limitation.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't be a problem anymore. Like, put them back in.
Speaking of cut because of 3DS limitations, another thing that was characters who transform. Do you think that's coming back? And if so, Charizard and the Pokemon Trainer, what's that whole thing going to be?
That's interesting. I do like Charizard as his own character, but I think they could bring back Pokemon Trainer. Because people loved playing as Squirtle and Ivysaur as well. So,
I mean, they could bring back just a different, 7th gen Pokemon Trainer with Rowlet, Torracat, and the Primarina. It doesn't have to be.
That could be
Charizard.
interesting.
Although it probably would be with Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee coming out. It probably still would be the 1st gen starters.
Yeah, probably. But Pokemon Trainer was such a cool idea that they, I guess, had to cut. You're right. So,
what do you think, Kevin? Do you think transforming characters? Are Zelda and Sheik going to be one again? Like, what?
I think Sheik's made her own identity at this point.
I think
I don't think they go back to transforming there.
Same with Samus and Zero Suit Samus.
Yeah.
And, some of what you guys think. I've the transforming characters, Sheik aside, because Sheik was... loved Sheik in Melee. I always thought that transforming characters were, almost purposely clunky and, were never the best character just because they had all these, weird stipulations going on with the transforming and, like with Pokemon Trainer, like I feel like I don't know about you guys, but like I always preferred to be one of the Pokemon over the other. Like I didn't find myself transforming that much. To me, it was just
right.
I mean, some people really liked that, but it never really caught on with me.
I have a reason to not do transforming characters anymore, and that's for every character to first of all be individual, but all to have a down B or like a move that isn't transforming.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that was an obvious downside of playing a transforming
exactly.
character because you missed out on an entire move.
Yeah.
Unless it was Samus Samus, in which you have to use your final smash to...
Right.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I love Pokemon Trainer as the concept and how Pyra and Mythra would work as a transforming character, I would like to see each character just be their own individual thing.
Yeah. Definitely, I agree.
So, I'm going to pitch a character here who I think is likely to get in. And I think that it... Well, okay. I don't think they're likely to get in the base game based on the time frame, but I think eventually we will get an ARMS character in this Smash Brothers.
That's definitely possible.
Seems natural.
Be it DLC, be it Springman or Ribbon Girl, or...
Both.
I mean, yeah, both. I think it just makes sense for ARMS to be in there. ARMS, while not at the level of Splatoon, still has done very well for itself, and has a very engaged fan base the way that fighting games tend to, like Street Fighter. Not, of course, at the Street Fighter level, but...
Yeah.
Like, people who love ARMS, and they're colorful, they'd work. I'd love to see a character who could punch from across the stage.
Yeah. Oh man, the reach would be wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely popular enough to, and relevant enough, obviously, to get that character slot.
Yeah.
I agree.
And, I mean, I have 3 or 4 different characters who could fill this quote-unquote slot, but I think we're getting a 7th gen Pokemon. I can't imagine we're not getting a 7th gen Pokemon. It's just a matter of who it is, because there are so many Pokemon that hit the criteria for Smash Brothers in 7th gen, and it could be many of them.
Yeah.
Who would you want to see most?
My number one choice would be Mimikyu, because that's my favorite Pokemon. They are arguably the most popular Pokemon to come out of 7th gen. They are big in the TV show, because it's one of Team Rocket's main Pokemon in the current thing, and the TV show seems to be a deciding factor for Pokemon fairly often. Which would be another Pokemon villain, which would be nice. Mimikyu, despite looking like Pikachu, is Ghost Fairy, which there are no Ghost well, I guess Jigglypuff's Fairy type, but she has no Fairy moves.
Right.
There's a lot of moveset potential for Mimikyu. But I'd also be happy with any of the others that people are pitching around. I'd love to see Lycanroc, who is a rock-type dog, and quadrupeds are always fun in Smash Brothers. I want to see more of them.
I was going to say, is it the day form or the night form?
I think it could be... I think it might actually be the sunset form, or whatever they call it, the one that Ash got in the anime that's like a halfway point between the two.
That's a thing?
It's a thing.
Okay.
You know how Greninja got a form that was like half Ash, half Greninja, and it looked awful? But like Lycanroc, it doesn't look like Ash, but Lycanroc got a special anime form for this gen. And so, you never know. Lycanroc was really popular before the game came out as well. The different forms could be an issue. Again, transforming characters, we just said not to do that, but different Lycanroc moveset depending on the stage, whether the stage is set at day or night.
Oh.
Huh?
Wow. That would be unique to a character, for sure.
And then, of course, the big one everybody's talking about is the side UI.
Yeah.
I'm not as big a fan of, although I think they'd be really unique and cool. I prefer Rowlet, the first evolved to Decide UI, and I think Rowlet would be a really great just replacement for Jigglypuff's moveset. But round with multiple jumps, sleeps a lot, like it works.
Slaps with the wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, it really would line up well.
But Decide UI is popular because we have a fire starter of Charizard and a water starter of Greninja, so everybody wants a grass starter, and Decide UI is the newest one.
They want to complete the Triforce.
Yeah. I think both Incineroar and Primarina are more popular full evolutions than Decide UI, but Rowlet is by far the most popular first evolve, so I can understand why they'd go with Decide UI.
Yeah.
And being an archer is very unique.
Yeah. It would be a cool moveset.
And then one I don't hear people talking about a lot, but I still think has a shot, is Tapu Koko, who is a legendary and very important to the story of Sun and Moon and was like really big in the pre-release stuff. So that's just another one I think could be, depending on when they started making the game.
I could see that, yeah.
What do you guys think? What are you thinking?
I'm not sure if I could think of another one. I mean, I think those were all good ideas. I'm not sure if I could think of another 7th gen that's likely. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I pretty much agree with everything you said. So
I know you didn't play Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I did not. I was actually, as you were speaking, I was just Googling what those Pokemon looked like as you said each one, just to imagine what you were talking about, and I agreed with all of your ideas.
The side UI there, who I just saw you're looking at, is Grass Ghost.
The side UI is so cool, by the
He
way.
is so cool, I know.
I'm sure I'm not alone in that opinion.
You're not. The side UI is like the fan favorite to get in Smash right now.
Yeah, and like we actually have the foundation for Archer type moves already there with Pit and Link's past moves, so it's like I'm sure they could innovate even further on that.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be. I was actually thinking because I think about Pokemon and Fire Emblem this way. Like, we always get a Fire Emblem character. And I know we all have Fire Emblem, so we're cool with the ones we have staying. But I wouldn't be shocked if they rotated some out.
Yeah.
Brought in some new ones.
I can't imagine that the 2 Marth clones are both going to be in the base roster of the new game.
Right. Especially when people have been begging for Chrom, and whether or not he makes it, like, this would be the game where he would, right? A game with rolling updates where people can vote on characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Heck, even Bowser Jr. has every alternate costume being a different Koopaling.
Yes.
Do that with Fire Emblem. Let it be Marth, change costume Chrom, change costume Lucino, change costume Alm. Like, just...
Honestly, yes.
Put the multiple characters into one
why not?
slot.
Yeah, if there are too many Fire Emblem characters that would have a similar moveset because they all use swords, put them all in one character.
Yeah,
why not?
I'm sure there are people who would hate on that just because they like them being individuals. But if you want all these, I mean, we're getting more Fire Emblem characters anyway as this goes on,
which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah.
So like, if you want all of them, like if that's their solution, I'd be satisfied.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the Pokemon definitely need some refreshing in Smash Brothers. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but. First of all, I am a Jigglypuff main. I have played Jigglypuff in every Smash Bros. Game. Why the hell is Jigglypuff still in this game? Okay, so we have 4 first-gen Pokemon in Gen 4 in Smash 4, who is Pikachu. Obviously Pikachu's there. Mewtwo, awesome, the main villain of Pokemon. That makes sense. Charizard, super cool. Remnant of the Pokemon trainer, makes sense. And then Jigglypuff, instead of giving like a 3rd-gen or 5th-gen Pokemon a character. Like, what are they doing? Lucario makes sense. Lucario was the, like... one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, and then was the, like, poster child for Mega Evolution. So yeah, of course Lucario's in there.
Right.
Greninja is a random choice that I still am not totally settled on when there were other popular Pokemon at the time. They got lucky picking Greninja, that Greninja got so popular, but I'm almost certain Greninja's popularity is at least partially because of Smash Brothers.
Yeah. I think if there's any... I know we're not, like... We haven't talked about, like, cuts really yet, or, like, if they're going to cut any characters at all. I think if one character should be cut, it's Greninja. Like, that's just how I personally feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd even say Jigglypuff before then. As much as I love Jigglypuff, just to give it... Because 4 first-gen Pokemon... I know first-gen are very, very popular, obviously. But 4 of them, when some gens are not at all represented, is interesting.
Look here, I mean, like... Again, we're talking about a game that could potentially have rolling updates.
Yeah.
Like, Jigglypuff would get in eventually.
Exactly.
Or maybe she starts, and we're fine with that, and we count on there being other Pokemon that are, rolled in eventually.
I mean...
If there are rolling updates, I would hope for at least 2 new Pokemon overall. Like, whether there's one in the starting roster and one in a rolling update. Because, I mean, Pokemon and Fire Emblem are both in the same category where they are franchises that are, more so than anything else, about the characters and have a ton of characters.
Yeah. I mean, I think what they should do is put a 7th gen in either the base roster or like early DLC, and then have the DLC go and go and go, and then next year when Gen 8 comes out, put in a Gen 8.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Do that.
Very easy for them. And like, also, we've talked about, like, the absence of a character in the opening roster would not freak people out as much as it initially would.
Exactly. The opening roster could just have Pikachu, and I'd be like, all right, well, we're definitely getting Pokemon DLC then. Like,
Also, on my short list of possible emissions from a next Smash, at least an initial emissions is a weird word.
Like, least likely to make the base roster.
Exactly. I had Greninja on that list. I had Lucina / other Marth clones on that list. The last one on the list, and I don't know if people would agree with me on this or not, but I think maybe we've outgrown the presence of Wii Fit Trainer on Smash. Just because I feel like Wii Fit on a Switch, like, we're moving forward, I feel like.
I mean, I think Wii Fit Trainer has one thing going for her / them, because they've got a very unique and fun moveset with the different yoga poses. But I think definitely taking that one step further, the Miis. have.
Yep.
Yes.
There's not even like. It's hard to find the Mii Maker on the Switch. There is one there, and it has no music, but it's hard to find.
That's terrifying.
It's really funny. It's like the shattered remains of a Mii Maker. It's so funny.
Oh.
But yeah, I can't imagine the Miis are coming back, and I think Wii Fit Trainer wouldn't be in the base roster unless every character from Smash 4 is in the base roster.
Which wouldn't be a surprising move.
Right.
For them
Especially
to do
if it's
that.
on the same engine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And I know it's a character everybody loves, but I think Sheik has only been in one Zelda game outside of spin-offs, and would probably not be as important to get in the base roster if there are rolling updates.
Yeah. Going back to Jigglypuff for just a second, like, the only thing Jigglypuff actually has going for her is that she was a veteran in Smash 64.
Exactly. Jigglypuff was almost cut in Brawl. She only got in because they delayed the release date, because just looking at the files and when they added characters in. And then Smash 4, she's the last unlockable, which also says to me, like, she was the last one they put into the game, so...
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is more speculation than anything else, but in the trailer we've seen, where everybody's standing in front of the Smash Ball, I've looked at it thousands of times over, I've really tried to figure out who the silhouettes are, and I can identify every one of the original 12 Smashers except for Jigglypuff in that silhouette.
Oh, wow.
That's significant.
I think so. But I could be wrong, and she's also very small and could just be standing in front of Donkey Kong or something, so who knows?
Or maybe what you think is Kirby is actually...
They cut Kirby. Oh my god.
Obviously.
Wow. Keeping Jigglypuff, cutting Kirby.
To prove that there's no Sakurai bias, Sakurai cuts his own creation from the
game. Kevin, you were touching on Desegiwai and like a archer moveset. This isn't something that's super likely.
Yeah, maybe more so than you think. I think I know you're about to go with.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I would just love if Lyn was a new Fire Emblem character, because Lyn's like my favorite Fire Emblem character. I think she, makes a lot of sense just outside of my own bias, because Ike is the most popular male character with the Fire Emblem Heroes poll, and Lyn is the most popular female character.
Lyn is like consistently the most popular Fire Emblem character in these polls.
Or at least female character.
Yeah. She's, and you could tell they know people love her. Nintendo made Tech McCoy put Lyn in Fire Emblem Warriors. She was not part of the original plan.
Right.
I mean, that's to me both surprising and extremely significant. A character who had, again, we go back to like the lack of voice acting in Fire Emblem, like, who just had text box to speak for her, and I guess she was the main character of that Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem game, but we haven't seen her in an actual game in so long.
Yeah.
There were so many other like great female characters that people could be latching onto, but the fact that
Lyn represents Fire Emblem's jump to the west.
Yeah.
Like more so than any other character. She exists to be a tutorial for people who hadn't played Fire Emblem before.
Yes,
in the Japanese version of that game, you can actually skip her entire chapter. But Lyn is so much for so many people, and especially because the last non-remake Fire Emblem game to come out, as of now, is Fates, which already has a Smash character. Now would be the time to look at an older Fire Emblem character to drag them in. And Lyn's also the only Fire Emblem assist trophy in both Brawl and Smash 4, so Sakurai knows she has some importance.
And as a swordsman, she would have a very different moveset than
she have more of a samurai like.
Exactly.
Yeah. It would be a very different fighting style. She would also have a bow that happens in her game, so she could easily have a very unique moveset.
Yeah. Unless the Saidoi gets in and Takamaru.
Yeah.
Who we haven't even talked about yet, but retro characters. Every Smash Brothers game adds a retro character starter and a retro character unlockable. Something to think about. For Smash 4, for Smash 1, it was Ness and Samus. Neither of them had a game on the N64, but they both got in. Samus being starter, Ness being unlockable. Melee, it was Ice Climbers and Game & Watch. Brawl, it was Pit and Rob. Smash 4, it was kind of Little Mac and Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
So there's definitely precedent for two retro characters coming in.
That is totally true.
And I think Takamaru is definitely a leading choice for that.
I agree with you. I think he definitely has a shot. I don't know if he was actually ever, if Sakurai has ever mentioned that
Sakurai
he was
did say he was considered for Smash 4, but because his game hadn't come out in the West, he decided against it. And since then, his game came out on the Virtual Console.
So I think he could very easily be a choice. I don't know if they would do something like Excite Bike, but I think if they did something like Duck Hunt, they easily could.
I think they
Excite
could do
Bike into a moveset.
Excite Bike was considered for Melee.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So I think that's another option.
I read a lot of interviews. I'm sorry, everybody. Like, keep interrupting with these things.
No, it's very useful to know.
Yeah, Excitebike is also like a huge game. If not a character, I'm surprised we haven't seen an Excitebike stage yet, and I think that would be really cool.
That's true.
Like a walk-off stage with like the hills. I mean, Mario Kart got a great stage.
Yeah, like
Excitebike
the
stage.
F-Zero thing where all the ships are coming by would be like all the bikes coming by.
Oh, I meant it like sideways looking at it.
No, yeah, they would come from
Oh,
the
they'd
side.
still. Oh, yeah. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
I feel like
While we're talking about throwback things,
yeah.
this is not character related at all, but I was talking with James earlier. I would love to see the return of like original style break the targets and board the platforms.
Yes.
Yes.
There is. Oh god. Okay. It could be a remake of Smash 4. It could be a remake of like Brawl with all the Smash 4 characters cut. Please give me target test.
Actual break the targets and board the platforms with this diverse of a roster.
It would be amazing.
Like, imagine how intricate they can make those stages, like, knowing the capabilities of each character. It would probably be very difficult, but how fun would that
It would be
be?
so, and with rolling updates, it could be actually, like, they wouldn't have to worry about, like, oh, well, we don't want to take too much development time. Like, I think the big issue with Break the Targets and Brawl and Smash 4 is there's so many characters, it would take so much time to, like, make all the stages right. But with rolling updates, they actually have the extra time to...
Yeah. Yeah, like break the target stages for each character where like you have to use every one of those characters' moves to get all the targets. Like you really have to think outside the box and saying like what one move can I use to get this target?
Exactly.
That could be so cool.
But we've had so much fun doing Break the Targets and Board the Platforms like in the past year. Let me pitch you guys on this idea. Not totally to be devil's advocate, but what if Break the Target stages are one of the rolling updates thing, but it's not for a specific character. They'll just add, like, we end up with like 20, 25 Break the Target stages with no specific character tied to them, and they just keep adding a Break the Target stage. You have to see who you could get the targets with, and
I'd be okay with
who
that.
you could do it
That's
fast
an
as
interesting idea. Yeah, I don't think they need to be... I mean, I think it's cool when they're individualized.
Oh, I
to each
agree. I'd
character.
rather have it that way.
But, I mean, if that's their solution, hey, that's way better than nothing. And, like, when I was thinking about this, like, I also think about Smash as a competitive game, and imagine playing online and having like a world leaderboard of who can quickest break the targets and board the platforms. Like,
oh, I want to see it again. The melee speedruns of target tests are like 2 seconds on every stage. I want to see that happen again with the new stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we touched on Fire Emblem. Let's talk Fire Emblem for a little longer before we move on to a different franchise and characters, because I think there's a couple, like with Pokemon, there are a few characters that could be that Fire Emblem newcomer.
Yeah.
Assuming there is one. There's been backlash against Fire Emblem because of Roy and Corrin getting in, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, at least in the base roster, but I think, obviously, Echoes is the newest one. I think Alm and Celica are something to be at least considered, even if just as alternate costumes or clones of Marth and Robin, respectively.
Yeah.
I think that could definitely work.
That could be very cool.
People have mentioned, I've seen online, that the magic in Echoes, instead of the way it works in other Fire Emblem games, using magic makes your health go down. So Celica as a character could be like a competent Pichu in that her magic damages herself, and instead of Robin's like imagine her as a Robin clone, but instead of her weapons running out, she has to manage her own percentage with doing the attacks.
Yes.
And it could still be very strategy oriented and like considering everything, which represents Fire Emblem really well.
I think that would be a really great idea for a semi-clone. And it would show off things that are unique to Gaiden / Echoes. Like, I think that would be really smart of them to do, actually. Celica as a character, and Alm. Like, Alm would be great, too.
Yeah, Alm could be there.
Yeah.
People like Alm.
Why not?
He can hang. It's weird not to have them together, but Celica was the other character that Nintendo forced them to put into Fire Emblem Warriors who wasn't in the original design. It was her and Lynn, so...
That is significant.
Yeah. Any other... I mean, you said Chrom. Any other Fire Emblem characters that you guys think... Other than Fire Emblem Switch, who we don't know about yet.
Right. It's too early to put any of those characters in.
They'd be great DLC, though.
But again, DLC.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the base roster, or with updates, was just Marth, Ike, Robin, Corrin, and Switch Fire Emblem character eventually in DLC.
Yeah.
Like, I could see them doing that and being totally okay with it.
Yeah, me too. That would be good.
Also, Tiki is kind of the face of the franchise right now through the different spin-offs like
Tiki?
Warriors and Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. So it wouldn't be surprised. And I would love to play as a character who turns into a giant dragon. But that's another transforming thing, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it could be like Little Mac's punch meter, but just when her meter fills, she becomes a big dragon.
That'd be cool.
She becomes Ridley. Put Tiki and Ridley in just one character.
She becomes Ridley.
Plot twist.
That would be very cool. Like, it's hard to say, like, with the Mario franchise, like, what more characters they could add that would make sense.
I got 3 in mind. Let's go for it.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, Paper Mario. Captain Toad/Toad and Geno, who is more of a wish list than anything else.
Yeah.
But come on, they got Cloud in there. It's that company.
We were talking about Captain Toad as a possibility.
It could be interesting.
I think so.
Captain Toad, obviously, in his game, can't jump.
Neither can the Villager, and the Villager has the best recovery of any character in Smash 4.
There you go. So there's that argument gone.
Captain Toad's up B is his whole spaceship comes up from underneath him and just lifts them into the air.
Oh god, yes.
Paper Mario is the one I'd want. Geno's the one I want the most, but Geno's the least likely. I think Paper Mario is likely more so than ever. He finally got a stage in Smash 3DS. He's had 2 more games since Smash 4. Smash 4 didn't come out that long ago. Paper Mario technically had 2 games between Paper Jam and Color Splash. I didn't like either of those games.
Yeah.
Most people didn't. But they're still giving Paper Mario a lot of attention. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see, just all the different things Paper Mario has separate from Mario, like his hammer and his different badges and the partners and all that. Being able to turn into a paper airplane would be such a cool recovery move.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do hope for Paper Mario. And I think Toad is just, like Bandana D, held back by the fact that they're also just the name of a species in their world. But both Toad/Captain Toad and Bandana D from Kirby feel like they're, if not this Smash Brothers, getting very close to getting in there.
I totally agree. I think Captain Toad and Bandana D are separate enough from the rest of their species to warrant a character. I think that would
I mean, I legitimately...
make sense.
Whether or not Captain Toad gets in, I legitimately think Bandana D is getting in this time. Kirby should have a 4th character by now, and it would be Bandana D.
Yeah. Kirby's a big enough franchise where it deserves a 4th character.
Yeah. And people are going to want to hear about Waluigi.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about Waluigi.
I don't know either.
I love Waluigi, but I don't think he's Smash Brothers material over many other characters. I don't think he brings enough to the table unique.
Yeah.
He does moonwalk in Mario Tennis, though, when he goes back and forth across the court, which is
that'll
really
be his
something.
final Smash then.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we have Wario, and he has very unique mechanics that make him very fun to play, and it differentiates him from the rest of the Mario characters.
Wario also has 2 entirely unique franchises under his name, being the Wario Land and WarioWare, none of which Waluigi appears in.
To me, it's actually kind of amazing that Nintendo has not leaned into the Waluigi meme, because it's everywhere. Everybody talks about Waluigi all the time. So why would they not do anything with him?
Yeah, not to get X-rated for a second, but the fake news article that went around last year, Nintendo confirms Waluigi is uncircumcised for some reason, that people thought was real for like a couple of days. You think they would have actually said something about it by now, whether he is or isn't, but they still have not touched on that.
Wow.
Fact being that Waluigi is a topic of conversation, and if Wario's in it, it's not inconceivable that they could put Waluigi in and just have fun with his mechanics, since he's not tethered by anything specifically.
Yeah. I mean, he only appears in sport games, so just give him a bunch of sport moves.
Yeah, there you go.
Giving people the opportunity to play as him would be enough, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think people would necessarily gripe about his moveset. Right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I think the biggest thing holding Waluigi back is that if this game was more of a Mario game, of course Waluigi would be in it. But if Waluigi gets in it before, like, a 3rd Donkey Kong character, or, like, think about all the Golden Sun and Chibi Robo fans who haven't even had their franchise represented yet, and Waluigi gets in, he's not even in any important Mario games. Like, I think that's the stopping force for Waluigi.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Waluigi's the Jigglypuff of the Mario universe. Give him that moveset.
Connection made. Or there can only be one.
Yeah.
Waluigi or Jigglypuff.
One of us stays.
They fight for the roster spot.
Incredible.
Ooh, wait, here it is. Ready? make the game with both and give everyone the opportunity to play as both in like a worldwide tournament, and the winner is the character who stays.
Imagine a Smash Brothers made up of only characters who have never been in Smash Brothers fighting to get into Smash Brothers.
That's a great
The Captain Rainbow of Smash Brothers games.
Oh. You did mention the Donkey Kong franchise.
Yes.
And I thought of two characters that would make a lot of sense, which are King K. Rool, because he was very much wanted for Smash Wii U.
If anybody's getting in on the ballot, I would assume it's King K. Rool.
He was like one of the top choices,
From
right?
what we know. I mean, there's no official release.
Somehow he was one of the most desired characters.
K. Rool is like Waluigi in the fact that he's really big into memes right now because the whole Donkey Kong Country TV show is such a huge source of memes. But
yeah.
K. Rool also, if Melee had a bigger roster, he'd be in there. The only reason he hasn't been in the games is because he hasn't been in Smash Bros. Because he hasn't been in games
Hasn't been
since,
relevant.
Yeah.
not including Mario Sluggers, since DK64, but he was such a huge part of Nintendo for that time period. The Donkey Kong Country games are some of the most beloved Nintendo games. They completely revitalized the Donkey Kong franchise. They made the Donkey Kong franchise what it is. And he's the main villain in all of them. Donkey Kong isn't playable. Okay, out of the 3 Donkey Kong Country games and Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong himself is playable in 2 of them. And K. Rool's the villain in all 4.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Diddy Kong's not even playable in all of them. There is no character playable in all 4 of those games.
Wow, that is
It's weird.
And then the other one I was going to say is Dixie Kong.
Yeah.
Because she is in Tropical Freeze. She's very relevant. Her moveset would be way different from Diddy's. She'd be a female Donkey Kong rep.
She was the playable character in Donkey Kong Country 3.
Yeah. I think she has enough reasons to warrant a character.
Absolutely. I think one way or another, we are absolutely getting another Donkey Kong character.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong at 2 reps feels really weird, especially when the newest Donkey Kong game, Tropical Freeze, which is amazing, has 5 different playable characters now, between Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Cranky Kong, and Funky Kong.
Yeah.
Funky Kong, who would be a great clone for Donkey Kong, by the way.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool.
But yeah, it's time. It's time for another Donkey Kong character.
I totally agree.
And if they get one, if Donkey Kong and Kirby both get a new character, then the trend continues of Donkey Kong and Kirby only getting new characters in the odd-numbered Smash Brothers.
Which was clearly their plan from the beginning.
It's obvious. It's all right there in the files of Smash 64.
We've seen a trend, when Melee came out and the competitive Smash scene exploded.
Yes.
Because of how technical it was. That was an amazing time for Smash, and I just recently watched the Smash documentary on YouTube, all 9 or whatever episodes of it, and was kind of blown away at this whole culture and scene that I wasn't even really fully aware of when it was happening. And obviously that sort of faded as Brawl came out and was clearly even less intended to be a competitive game. And then with the Wii Smash, they continued to not address the competitive community.
Well, I think Smash 4 did so much better than Brawl did.
Oh, I think so too. But it hasn't caught on the way Melee did. Nothing has. So
and nothing will. I mean, Melee fans are rabid about Melee.
Right. Well, nothing will. The way things are. So and we've seen Nintendo over time basically come out and say, our games are for fun, interactive like party games, social games. They're not really looking to create the next ultra competitive esport, right? But as someone who, and you guys know me, when I play Smash, I how many items?
0.
And what stage?
Omega Form Kalos Pokemon League.
That is exactly what Omega Kalos, and and here's the thing, the addition of Omega stages, that's
a step in the right direction for that crowd.
That caters to my tastes very much. I'm someone who likes to play on very basic stages, no hazards. That's just me. And I know I don't know if I'm the majority or the minority there, but my question to both of you, I guess, is will and should Nintendo focus just on the fun or also the competitive tournament grinder style players of Smash, or is there a way for them to do both?
I think they're gonna. I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to do both more. I think the trailer with the giant ball of flame, the shape of the Smash Bros. Logo on the dark black background as a Greek chorus sings in the background, I think that is definitely leaning towards intensity. So I think there's definitely going to be some aspect of that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a whole mode dedicated to like a slightly more technical mode to it. I don't think they're going to drop the fun aspect of it, nor do I want them to. My favorite stages are still Palutena's Temple and Orbital Gate Assault, but I think I think they are getting closer and closer to finding that balance, and I think they're going to hit it with this one. I mean, the tournament that they're having on the 12th at E3, the people who they confirmed to have there are all professional Smash Brothers players, from what I'm aware of. And while the professional Smash scene is not something that personally appeals to me, I definitely want everybody to be able to get behind this one Smash so that Melee fans stop yelling at the rest of us.
Yeah, they can be,
aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think while they could, continue, I think they already have started to work in both directions because
for fun, for glory.
I was going to mention for fun and for glory is literally you can play with items on whatever stages or on Final Destination Battlefield type stages with no items for fun, for glory. Like they give you an option with the Omega stages. They give you an option. I think they could continue to work in both directions and make everyone happy.
Yeah,
so. Yeah. I think ideally that's what everybody would like, because there's no reason to mess with the true nature of Smash, which is the fun party mode,
which they have perfected at this point. Like they don't need to keep working on that alone make it more and more so.
There's no need to reinvent that side of it. And,
exactly.
And like we've mentioned, the Omega stages, the for fun, for glory, these are definite encouraging steps in the right direction for the people who are more competitive leaning. And listen, like I'm no professional competitive Smash player, but
you're very good.
But well, thanks. I do like to play a more straightforward competitive style rather than the variance that items and hazards introduce. But I do think it'd be interesting to see what would happen if Nintendo leaned into the competitive esports crowd that once existed for Melee. It was quite big for a while, and it would be interesting to see what would happen if they did try to, provide all the support needed for that to be
that scene is still alive and well, by the way. They are still going at it.
It's definitely alive, but I mean, I don't think anything will ever compare to the scene when Melee was at its peak.
Oh, probably not.
I guess not. Yeah.
I mean, Brawl never reached that, and I don't know if
no, I mean, like, the crowd playing Melee are still going to every big convention and having these huge audiences full of people playing Melee.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, that's still happening.
Yeah.
But, you want that to be supported in your most recent game.
Right.
So, it would just be interesting.
So, I'm going to hit you guys with a lightning round. I'm looking up online just different characters people are predicting.
Oh, jeez.
So let me toss some characters at you. You guys just let me know whether you think they could get in or whether you want them to get in, or both. And then after that, we'll talk about third parties, which are their own monster of a mess third-party characters.
Okay.
Dark Samus.
Yes. Absolutely should be a character. If you're asking me, should be a semi-clone of Samus and just work Phazon into her moveset. That would be so cool.
James said it perfectly.
Okay. I completely agree with every step of that along the way. Okay. This is one that I'm a huge support of, and this is literally anything repping Rhythm Heaven.
Okay. While I don't know much about the franchise, I think Rhythm Heaven has a lot of elements that could make for a very interesting moveset. Working music and or timing into certain attacks or something could be really unique to a character. I know Chorus Men was like one of the characters that was quote-unquote leaked and then obviously wasn't in Smash Wii U 3DS. So, yeah, I think it could be interesting. I'm open to it.
Cool.
I'm unfamiliar with Rhythm Heaven.
That's true.
No
I shouldn't have pitched that to you. I knew neither of you played it. Quick recap for anybody like you two who don't know. Rhythm Heaven is Nintendo's rhythm game franchise. It's made by the team that does WarioWare. It is an active franchise. It had a game on the Game Boy Advance, then the DS, then the Wii, then the 3DS. And the 3DS one came out since Smash Wii U. In the files of Smash Wii U, the Rhythm Heaven series is located with the other series that had characters. and they had an enemy in Smash Run, which is the only series other than Ice Climbers that had an enemy in Smash Run and not a character. Rhythm Heaven is getting bigger and bigger. It's getting US releases more and more often, and so it does seem like eventually there will be a character in, and I'm excited for whatever that is, and I hope it happens with the Smash Brothers. Next character, Crystal from Star Fox.
Could be very cool. Would obviously be a very unique Star Fox character with her staff and not Blaster. I think she could be interesting and unique. Not incredibly relevant, but I would be happy if she was a character. Sure.
I think, like James said, she's not relevant at the moment, but if she makes an appearance in this Star Fox game we're talking about, then she's absolutely on the table.
Yeah.
Just as much as any other throwback character is. Crom, not currently relevant, right? But he's been demanded by the fans.
Yeah.
K. Rool, not currently relevant. For all these reasons, and because she's a female Star Fox character, absolutely.
Yeah. I agree. And I think if rolling updates, if they get like a big roster, she could definitely make it in there. Impa.
As much as I love Zelda, I don't think so. I don't think she has a great chance, and I don't know how much she would add to the game. It'd be cool to see. I don't think it's very likely at all.
I mean, I think Impa's like the one other recurring Zelda
character, yeah.
And like Sheik isn't, and she's in. He's in. Whatever. But
They're in.
They're in. I think Impa's moveset would be a little tricky to like. I guess they have a lot of freedom.
Unless they're like a semi-clone of Sheik.
Right. They have freedom with it at least. I'm gonna say no, but it would be cool if they did.
Okay. Let me hit you with another WarioWare character. Ashley or anyone otherwise.
I mean, not the first thing I would think of, but in one sense makes sense because Ashley's an assist trophy, and Little Mac, they made the jump from assist trophy to character, so not absolutely outrageous. Not sure too much about a moveset.
That's fair.
Not sure if WarioWare is quite as big of a franchise to have a second character, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't see it as super likely, but again, with these rolling updates, even fringe characters seem possible. Because, if the game has a long lifetime, this could go on for years and years. So, anything's possible, not super likely in the near future.
Yeah, I feel that. Next character is one who I can't imagine a moveset for unless they're like a clone or something. But whose relevance is at their highest and who is the face of their franchise, Isabelle from Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I mean, I at one point did think of this idea, and the best thing I can think about it would be a clone of Villager, or a semi-clone.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't quite know how else they would do her, but I think she...
I was saying, I have no idea how it would work, but she should be in there.
She's popular enough, yeah.
She should be... I would not mind a full clone Villager for Isabelle, because it's weird that she's not in there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
She's in Mario Kart.
Yeah, right.
Neither of you played Advanced Wars, right?
No.
Okay, we'll just leave that one on the table. Neither of you played that game either. I'm looking through a lot of the things people want that aren't third party are like more and more obscure.
You can put them out there for people to comment on.
Okay, yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about characters such as anybody repping Advanced Wars, Golden Sun, or Chibi Robo, which are all from the same time period of Nintendo, the GameCube, Game Boy Advance era. All have some pretty dedicated followings and all seem to have just missed Smash Brothers when Brawl came around. You do both custom Robo.
Yeah.
Characters, stages, items, what do you want to see more custom Robo representation?
It's already an assist, right?
It was in Brawl, it was cut for Smash 4.
Okay. I don't know if it deserves an actual character slot compared to so
without
many
a new
other
game,
things.
it's just so unlikely.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, would a moveset work? Sure. But should it happen? Maybe not.
Okay, in that case, let's move on to the dreaded world of third-party characters and the hellscape of possibilities that they represent. Woohoo! Yeah!
Oh boy.
Who do you think is the most likely third-party character out of every third-party character, and who do you want the most out of a third-party character? Let's just start there.
Okay. I'm not sure about most likely, because I feel like with third
There's
party,
no way to know.
The nature of it is just a wild card, but I could say that a character I think would work very well moveset-wise and could deserve a third-party slot is Simon Belmont. from Castlevania.
Oh, very good.
Yes, Kevin?
Oh, this is gonna be sick. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about this at one point, and, like, the only other character with, like, a whip sort of weapon is Zero Suit Samus.
True, it's a very different kind of whip.
Right, and, like, it's in some of her moves, but I think if, like, an entire moveset was revolved around him and the whip, and I'm not super familiar with Castlevania, but, like, whatever other items he has, like, I'm sure...
Crystals.
Yeah, like, I'm sure there's a moveset in there that could work
Yeah, oh,
really
I don't
well.
doubt that at all.
Yeah.
Kevin, what about you? What are you...
Again, I don't know how likely this is because, they're pretty stingy with third-party characters, but with the amount of crossovers that Nintendo and Mario in particular has had with Sonic, I can't help but think that there's inevitably going to be another Sonic character in Smash.
It's a really good point. We haven't had 2 third-party characters from the same franchise yet, and I think if any of them were to, Sonic would be the one to get a second.
Yeah.
Again, like, because of all the crossovers in particular,
Yeah.
like, they've shown the willingness to do that, so... And again, like, we were talking, I don't know how you add Tails and not Knuckles, but, like, it'd have to be Tails first, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Shadow. As like a semi-clone.
Maybe Shadow. Well, Shadow would be the easiest, just because that
Shadow
could
would-
literally be a clone.
yeah.
But Tails probably presents the most unique mechanics.
True.
Mhm. Yeah.
I agree. I think more so than any other third-party franchise, other than maybe Final Fantasy because they've got a Fire Emblem thing going on, but I think Sonic would be the one I'd be most excited to see a second character from. The third-party character I most hope for / think, like, the highest point of my want them and think they are reasonable is Bomberman. Of course, you both know I love
Yeah.
Bomberman so much, and they got a game on the Switch at launch!
Yeah, right?
But, I love Bomberman, and I always have. And more so than any other third-party character, they feel like a Nintendo character, especially because Hudson Soft, Bomberman's former owner before the company went under and was bought by Konami, Hudson Soft was very close with Nintendo, making every Mario Party from 1 to 8, and also Wario Blast featuring Bomberman, the Wario Bomberman crossover game.
Whoa.
What?
On the Game Boy.
Wow.
Bomberman, just looking at Bomberman next to Mario and Pikachu and Link and Kirby, like, looks like a Nintendo character. Which is not... There's not many of those. Sonic does, Mega Man does, Cloud doesn't, but I'm so glad he's in there.
Yeah.
But there's so much to pull from Bomberman. He's got 80-something games under his name. It's maybe not as big a franchise as some of these other games that got in, but neither is Pac-Man. Pac-Man is representing one game more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Bomberman has got the pedigree to get in there, and I hope he does. I mean, the biggest thing between him and Smash is the same thing that's between Simon Belmont and Smash, and that's Konami, the very bad company that owns them.
Right.
Which is why Snake isn't in here.
Right, yeah, Snake too.
They're all one company.
Yeah. And I mean, you could argue that Snake was in a Smash, but...
That's true. But the reason he didn't come back is almost certainly because Konami
Yeah.
is not doing great business.
Pachinko machines.
Yeah. What about a Pachinko machine stage that has Snake's screaming face as the background?
Well then.
And then the other third party who I really hope for is representative for Dragon Quest, which is not too big here in the U.S., but is one of the biggest franchises in Japan in video game history.
Yeah.
It is the Call of Duty of Japan. And I would love to see the slime from Dragon Quest finally take its spot among Nintendo again, because Mario and Dragon Quest have crossovered several times in different genres, and a stuffed animal of the slime from Dragon Quest used to be an employee at Nintendo of America who would write articles for Nintendo Power. And so I just thought it was a Nintendo franchise growing up.
I could see that, definitely.
You mentioned before, a third-party group that I think would be both very well received, but also would be a slippery slope, would be the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think, obviously it'd be great for the fans of that franchise to see that and to be able to play that, but that really does open the door for so much. And
Would you mean
not
because of Disney?
Right, and obviously you could keep it to a very small number or only one character, but
Yeah, well, I mean, Sora, luckily, his origin is Kingdom Hearts. He's not from a Disney movie.
Right. It's really just the interconnectedness and would you even be able to get?
Yeah, I think the
Get that happening.
legal battle for a Kingdom Hearts character would be really kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but Kingdom Hearts does have a history with Nintendo franchise consoles. They're all over the Nintendo handheld, so it's not impossible. Do you want any other third-party characters, or should I do a third-party lightning round?
There's none I can think of right now.
All right, here we go. Indie characters: Shovel Knight, Shantae, that whole group.
Ugh, I mean...
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
That's all I have to say.
That's a good statement.
Well, I don't think they're likely to get in. I think if any of them do, Shovel Knight probably has the popularity.
Maybe. I don't know if he still does.
Maybe not.
He might have missed his time. Crash Bandicoot. This is not the indie character. This is just the next lightning round one. Crash Bandicoot, mascot of the PlayStation 1, who went dormant for many years and now has his first 3 games coming to the Switch.
I don't think I realized that. Yeah, I mean...
there's a lot of big Crash fans. I didn't grow up with Crash, so I'm not attached to Crash at all.
Me neither.
He's like a weird Dorito.
Very accurate.
Crash, a weird Dorito.
I mean, I think it could work. Yeah, I mean, a character none of us are really that attached to, but I think could work.
Right. In the same vein, Rayman.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. They had the Rabbids Mario game on the Switch already, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard very good things about it, except for that there are Rabbids in it. Everything I hear about that game is, it's fantastic. Ignore the Rabbids.
Yeah, which is half the game.
Yeah.
But,
well, you brought up a point with Sonic getting a second character. Do you think any other third party, if Sonic does get Tails or any other Shadow or any other second character, do you think any other currently existing third party franchises would get a second character or could? Street Fighter, Mega Man, Pac-Man.
I mean, if
Final Fantasy.
If Street Fighter did, I think Ken would be a really easy clone of Ryu.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
Maybe he'd be a semi-clone. Maybe he'd work slightly differently.
Every third party character could easily get a clone.
Yeah.
Actually, I just realized Shadow, Miss Pac-Man, Proto Man,
Yeah.
anybody from Final Fantasy, and specifically that other one from Advent Horizon. I don't know who he is. It's somebody who's very similar to Cloud. Not Sephiroth, a different character. And Ken. Like, that works really quickly and easily.
Yeah.
Let's get some more alternate costumes for our third-party characters. Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I could definitely see that working making sense. They've done plenty of duo characters before, like Duck Hunt, Ice Climbers,
Yeah.
Rosalina Luma.
Banjo-Kazooie also is the only non-Nintendo franchise to canonically take place in the same world as Mario. So that's weird.
that is weird.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, let's jump to the last character, because this is the big one that is very controversial with a lot of people. And I've got a lot of thoughts on it. You both might as well. This is an indie character whose game, an indie game, originally created by one person, then went on to be the best-selling video game of all time and get bought by Microsoft. Let's talk about Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft is on the Wii U and the Switch. Minecraft is huge. And has been huge for many years. And maybe it's not at the height of popularity it once was, but is still undoubtedly enormous, especially with kids. The main character of Minecraft's name is Steve. You don't really need to know anything about the character, because there isn't anything. They're just an avatar for the player, but what do you think about the reality, and what would your reaction be to a Minecraft character in Smash Brothers?
While something like that would not be on my personal Smash Bros. Roster...
I know neither of you have played Minecraft either.
Right. I do think with the ridiculous popularity of Minecraft and the ridiculous moveset potential, it could work very well as a character.
Yeah.
I think it'd be silly for them to not explore the possibility. If they can get it, they should, just because of, at its core, Smash is bringing together the world's most popular video game characters.
Yeah.
Minecraft being one of the world's most popular video games, it deserves a spot if they can get it. I have no vested interest in it, but I know what Minecraft is, and after working with kids last year, it's all half these kids talk about is Minecraft. So, I think it'd be ludicrous to say it's impossible or that it'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, and I'll just go in as the one of us who has played Minecraft almost religiously for a few years with my brother and dad. The idea of a Minecraft character, my initial reaction was what I think the initial reaction of many people was, which is, what? No! Why? No! How would that work? And then, like, I hope there's a Minecraft character in the next... I'm at that point now where I'm like, well, maybe not so much as other third-party characters, and certainly not as much as other first-party characters, but the moves, like you said, the moveset for Minecraft could be amazing, the stage would be fantastic, whatever it ended up being.
The items it would add to the game.
Exactly. There's so much. There's so much to do in Smash. Imagine a Smash Bros. Stage that is destructible as you attack and break through it.
Very cool.
We've seen that in limited capacity.
Right. I mean, like Luigi's Mansion, but like the whole ground of the stage, and maybe it would like come back like Mario Maker. You see like a hand put everything back in or something like that. But like, there is a lot that could be done with Minecraft, and I feel like it's not out of the realm of reality. Kevin, I completely agree with what both of you said. Like, I just hope people don't react too adversely to it. Yeah. I know when Smash 4 was coming out, everybody was saying Pac-Man was a shoo-in, and I was so against Pac-Man.
Same.
Yeah, I know, we both talked about it all the time. We did not want Pac-Man in there, and then we heard at that E3, we didn't get to see the trailer yet, that Pac-Man got confirmed at the developer part, and I was like kind of defeated. And the next morning his trailer was on the website and I watched it once and I was in love with him. I freaking love that goofball. He works so well.
Yeah.
So I'm positive about it. And yeah, we'll see.
I definitely think Steve could work.
We will see.
Do either of you have any other characters or you want to talk about?
Yeah, hit everything on my list.
All right. We didn't even talk about stages or anything, but we've already been going for so long.
Yeah, I mean...
Real quick, the plateau from Breath of the Wild, New Donk City, something from Star Fox Zero, something from Xenoblade.
Yeah.
Alola.
Yeah, enough said.
The final boss battle from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yes, God. City Escape stage. Come on, it's time. Put it in.
If that happens, I will sprint out the door.
I just want to be able to scream, live, and learn while I smash things.
That song's already in the game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
The song is, yeah.
I don't think I was aware of that.
We'll play on Omega Windy Hill, though, in a moment.
Yeah, you only play one stage, that's why you wouldn't know.
That's actually the reason.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you all for listening to our Smash Brothers wish list and hopes and predictions. We'll see you all after E3 when they reveal only characters we did not predict or expect, and nothing that we mentioned here, as they always do.
Yep. And we'll probably have a reaction to E3 video.
3 Cranky Kongs! Take it to the fridge, Cranky, am I right?
3 Cranky Kongs and a Lanky Kong.
Super Crank Bros. It's just them.
It's just the Smash 4 roster, but they're all very old.
Oh my god.
Oh, Snake returning. Do you think Snake could return?
Again, I mean, the whole Konami thing we already mentioned. I think he could. I don't think he will.
Hey, Nintendo's great at resurrecting franchises. Why not?
Yeah. Look forward to more E3 stuff from us soon.
I hope everybody listening to this gets characters that they're hoping for in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Man, you all get points for sticking around this long.
Yeah, thank you. Let us know in the comments who you want to see and what you want to see and how wrong we were with our predictions.
Woo!
Until E3.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thanks
for
watching.
I was going to say playing. Man.
I was going to say listening. We all had a different idea.
Well, another great ending to a podcast, everyone.
SkyJam is canceled.
SkyJam, more like Sky...